We're following breaking news at this hour. We know right now that there is a crash on I-75 near Stanley Avenue in Dayton, closing down part of the highway. A
semi-crash left the truck turned on its side. Melena Brown is live on scene now. Melena, what do we know?
So right now I did just arrive on scene. As I pulled up, they are still diverting traffic off of 75 South. 75 North is still open. I'm taking a step out so you can see there's still tow trucks. They're still trying, I believe I can still see something on its side that they're working to get out now. We're unsure how long this is going to be closed, how long traffic is going to be diverted. There are still police on the scene trying to hopefully at some point speak with them, and also working to confirm some of the injuries that may have happened here today. We did see, or we heard over our scanner, that there were possible injuries. So gonna give a call real quick to see if we can confirm that information and what else happened here tonight. We do know that this happened late evening Tuesday night. It's now Wednesday morning, so this has been an active scene for quite some time now. You can see they're actively moving here, trying to get this taken care of. But if you are having to get on 75 South this morning to get to your morning commute, get to your job, unless you want to be diverted off Stanley Ave, I would just try and find another alternative route this morning. But again, we are going to try and get some updates on this and bring them to you on air and online as soon as possible. Back to you both.
We will continue to bring you updates from the Breaking News Center all morning long. To get breaking news push alerts sent directly to your phone, download our Dayton 24/7 Now app in the Google Play and Apple app stores. Election day is just days away, and your local school district might have a levy on the ballot.
Lydia Bai spoke with several local districts about these issues and how they affect our area students. Lydia.
I spoke with officials from Northmont, Centerville, and Oakwood to break down their district's levies for voters. All three of these districts have operating levies on the ballot, which pay for things like utilities, salaries for teachers and staff, and instructional supplies. Oakwood and Centerville have combined levies, though, which means both an operating levy and permanent improvement levy.
They'll be used for our facilities, remodeling, and looking at how to upgrade some of our facilities as we move forward.
The COVID-19 pandemic is still a prevalent topic in school districts across our area as well, and Linda Bloom, president of the Northmont City Schools Board of Education, told me that the COVID-19 shutdown affected a lot of students in their emotional or mental health, which is why it's so important for schools to have funding for resources that could help them.
The dollars that we're looking to get from this levy will help maintain all of those things that are already in place, and to do a little bit of an enhancement as needs arise.
Now, along with the pandemic, inflation has also made an impact. So if you still feel like you need some more information on these levies or any other issues on next week's ballot, be sure to head
Now move to phase 2 of the cleanup, which includes monitoring the air to make sure it's safe to breathe. Sia Nukior has more.
It's been almost 9 months since East Palestine changed forever.
Honestly, it's been a bit of a roller coaster.
As the city and the people are still recovering, the first round of cleanup nearly completed. More than 170,000 tons of contaminated soil removed from the derailment site.
We're finishing up the bulk removal of bulk contaminants out here. All the excavation is complete. What you see here in the background is we're hauling off the last of the contaminated soils from the site.
To date, Norfolk Southern says it has poured more than $96 million into the community since that fateful February night.
I can't tell you how to assuage somebody's fears. I've been out here since February 4th. I've been out here on site. I've been in the creeks. I've been in the water. I've been out here on the site, walking up and down the site in the holes with all these workers out here. The science is what it is. You trust the science. The science says that we're getting it, and we've gotten it all.
Bob Scoville, Norfolk Southern's manager of environmental operations for the area, says now they move into phase 2. That means retesting the soil to make sure there aren't any toxins, continuing to monitor the air so it's safe to breathe. But some in the community are skeptical.
We're here for the long haul. We're not going anywhere. We care about the town. We're committed to making it right. We're committed to doing the right thing for the town, for the community. So we're not going anywhere. We're going to be here.
Our time right now is 5:09. Don't forget to get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Just ahead, Dee Dee Gatton joins us with a look at a new rule proposed by the Department of Labor and its aim in protecting people saving for retirement.
You're watching Your Day.
Well, all across the Midwest, there was the first sign of snow, and this is out of the Twin Cities yesterday. It comes as temperatures are feeling more like we are getting closer and closer to winter time. This cold blast is hanging over millions of Americans from the plains all the way to the southeast, but a warm up should arrive by the weekend. And here in the Miami Valley, I actually woke up with snow in my car this morning, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I did not see any snow where I was. Alex, no.
No.
Right? Yeah, I think it may be just a band that's set up where you are, but you know, it's temperatures around the freezing mark, so it was certainly in the realm of possibilities that, especially as we got into the nighttime, that the snow did stick around a little bit, but it was just a dusting for you, right? Like
yeah, it was enough to cover the windshield, but I think, you know, up north of town it gets a little bit more snow if we get it. So
yeah, exactly. And I know yesterday I was outside waiting on the kids for Halloween candy, and I'm just sitting there like I'm literally have a huge thing of tea. I'm sitting there like this, and yeah, I went as a college kid because I was wearing slippers, jogging pants, a sweatshirt, and a jacket over the top.
That's just people of Walmart, Nick.
Yeah, I just needed a pet squirrel. All right, let's go over to the weather. Let's see what's going on. Here's what it looks like in Dayton for right now. Temperatures this morning around the freezing mark again. Perhaps you're waking up to snow. You're also probably waking up to frost yet again. One thing that I have noticed is compared to yesterday, the winds are significantly higher. That was to be expected because we did have that clipper roll through, and the clippers do generate a good bit of wind. That's the type of system that comes in rather quickly and exits just as fast. Didn't bring us a whole lot of snow, but it did bring enough that some of us, again, may have to just do a quick little windshield wipe and be good to go. It is cold. That is certainly the case for most of today. Temperatures only in the mid-40s, despite the fact that we'll be anywhere between partly cloudy and mostly sunny. And it's really tough to pin down exactly how many clouds we will see, especially during the second half of the day as we start to warm things up, just because all the moisture left over from whatever snow we got, plus, of course, the rain from a few days ago, that could just get into the upper atmosphere, cause a few more clouds. Either way, not going to be a heavy-duty weather day, just going to be a cool day. Speaking of cool, tomorrow morning, quite chilly, rallying into the 50s tomorrow, back into the average to above average category for the weekend. In fact, the weekend looking pretty good. Monday to Tuesday, temperatures cool off. All right, let's do some traffic this morning. Of course, the biggest issue was around Stanley Ave. We had an overturned semi on the side. That has since been cleaned up, but there's still going to be some residual delays, at least for the next few minutes, as you travel I-75 southbound through that Stanley Ave. Other than that, still dealing with the road construction up and down the interstate, so keep that in mind this morning. That 75, still want to give yourself plenty of extra time, especially in those construction zones.
The Biden administration announcing the Department of Labor will propose a new rule aimed at making it easier for Americans to save for retirement and avoid junk fees.
Dee Gatton joins us with a look at the areas this rule aims to target and how this could impact consumers. Dee?
You may have encountered so-called junk fees when traveling or purchasing concert tickets. They also could be impacting your retirement plans. The Biden administration says the rule would, quote, close loopholes so that recommendations to purchase any investment product must be in the saver's best interest. There are also already fiduciary best interest rules in place to protect investors, but they don't cover all types of investment products and retirement savings transactions that retirement investors may be sold.
People can choose and should be able to choose what product serves them best if they're properly educated. And there are some people that just don't believe that the government needs to regulate everything. At some point in time, you're going to regulate too heavy, and it's going to negatively impact the consumer.
Financial advisor Danielle Luke recommends visiting FINRA Broker Check to find out about your advisor, where they're licensed, and if they've had complaints. As we enter an election cycle, Luke expects to see some action on this proposal, adding the Obama administration did a lot of what Biden wants to achieve. Important to note here, similar proposed rules haven't stood up to legal challenges. Reporting for the National Desk, I'm Dee Gatton.
Our time right now is 5:18.
I'm just Ken, just ahead, the new doll hitting the shelves. this holiday season. I was trying to sing the whole thing through.
Beautiful. You're watching Your Day.
Good morning. Time for Pet of the Day here on Your Day. Of course, we celebrate pets each and every day. Today, we're going to pull out Kira. Kira, I believe we have showed you before here on Your Day. And Kira is a pretty princess, or a fairy, excuse me, a fairy there. Nice little touch with the ears. Now, I'm not usually much of a paint your dog person. Obviously, Valks is not happy with it, but every once in a while, got to have a little bit of fun, right? As for today, temperatures going to be in the 40s. We're pointing out a lot of sunshine across the area early on, but we do expect some clouds. We're going to go ahead and call it partly to mostly sunny. I think there could be a period or two, especially as you get towards the evening, that does turn a little bit more cloudy. We're pointing out the temperatures are still going to be running 15 or so degrees below average. So this has been an impressively cool period for all of us. And it's one of those mornings where if you are going to be outside, especially early on, you may need a jacket. Of course, your pets may also need a jacket, especially if they are the type that don't exactly have a lot of fur. As for this morning, if you are traveling, here's what you need to know. Right for now, up and down 75 is moving a lot better. We did have an earlier crash that actually shut down 75. That has since been cleared, and now it seems like everything is back into order. Still, give yourself plenty of extra time, especially around some of those bus stops and also construction areas.
The FDA warns consumers to stop using 26 eye drop products sold at CVS, Target, and Rite Aid. These are mainly treatments for dry eyes. The agency said investigators found unsanitary conditions and positive bacterial test results at a manufacturing facility where the products were made. Now, those who have signs or symptoms of an eye infection should talk to their healthcare provider immediately. Cardiovascular-related deaths due to extreme heat are expected to triple in the U.S. by mid-century as climate change raises the frequency of very hot days. A study supported by the National Institutes of Health and published in the journal Circulation found older and Black adults are likely to be the most affected. And a new study suggests spenders are happier with their life, but savers are wiser. The poll of American shoppers from Citizens Pay in one poll found 56% of Americans consider themselves to be spenders, splurging for things they want, while 34% identified themselves as savers. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
The ghosts and goblins are done for the year, but Halloween isn't the last day to celebrate the dead. Today is Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. Now, it's a Mexican holiday where people welcome their deceased relatives for a visit. You may be familiar with the brightly painted smiling skulls. Those are called calaveras, and their purpose is to show death is not scary. Instead, Day of the Dead is about remembering death is a part of life and an opportunity to be reunited with those who went before you.
Part of Blue Ridge Parkway is now temporarily closed near Asheville, North Carolina, due to a young bear getting a bit too friendly with humans. The National Park Service says they closed the 8-mile-long section after reports of visitors feeding and trying to hold a young bear. The service's superintendent says intentionally attracting bears with trash and food is dangerous. She added the service wants to give the bear a chance to lose interest in the area. Fall is an important time for bears as they forage for food to bulk up for winter hibernation.
The Kenergy is strong with this doll. Mattel has just released a new Ken that is not just Ken. Let me tell you, he's designed after Ryan Gosling's much-loved character in the Barbie movie. Ken is wearing the now legendary I Am Knuff sweatshirt and sweatpants, a headband, and the horse charm. Orders for the made-to-order item are on sale at MattelCreations.com, but Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa House is not included, and the sweatshirt, I believe Alex's husband has.
Yes, I bought it as soon as we watched the movie. So yeah, he wore it yesterday to the gym.
He was Knuff.
He was.
That's great.
He always is.
How fast do you think that doll is going to sell out?
Oh yeah, people are going to love it. I mean, you're going to see Barbie stuff all over the place for Christmas time, and it'll be one of the hot toys this year.
I think it's going to be like, remember Elsa and Olaf costumes maybe 2-3 years ago where every kid seemingly had one? I wonder if it's going to be Barbie and Ken next year, still going strong.
Well, I think that the little girls will like this maybe over Frozen this year for maybe the first time in forever. I mean, I don't know. I think that was the name of a song too from Frozen. For the first time in forever.
I've never seen it.
Well, you need to live a little bit. Well, then again, it is kind of strange for a grown man to watch Frozen by himself. So, yeah, maybe pass it that one.
Yeah, but you wouldn't put it past me.
No, it's not.
It's a cute movie. It is.
It's cute.
Our time right now is 5:27, still to come.
We're following a crash that occurred on I-75 South last night. We'll have an update coming up after the break.
I'm Dee Dee Gatton in Washington, and coming up, hanging on to hope. I spoke to an Israeli man whose sister is believed to have been taken hostage in Gaza.
The SAG-AFTRA strikes may soon be coming to an end, just to add the progress made by both sides in negotiations.
You're watching We come on the air with breaking news this morning. All lanes of I-75 South near Stanley Avenue in Dayton are closed.
A semi-crash left the truck turned on its side. Melena Brown is live on the scene right now. Melena, what do we know so far?
So guys, this entire thing is cleared up at this point. The highway is completely back open. They have everything cleared out. There's no longer police diverting the vehicles off the highway. They got the semi that was overturned taken away, so it is open and clear, but we do know that this accident happened later last night, so it did take quite a while to get this all cleared up. I did call Montgomery County Dispatch, and they did confirm 2 people were injured. They were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, so this is all cleared up. If you are heading out this morning, 75 South is now back open. Back to you.
We will continue to bring you updates from the Breaking News Center all morning long. To get breaking news push alerts sent directly to your phone, download our Dayton 24/7 Now app in the Google Play and Apple App Stores.
Good morning. Here's the view as you look over downtown Dayton. Again, a quiet morning in terms of heavy-duty weather. Not so quiet in terms of temperature, though. It is yet again in the low 30s and upper 20s. But the difference this go around is we have a lot more wind outside. Yesterday, the winds were frankly non-existent, and now it's about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Effectively, that pushes a lot of our feels-like temperature into the upper teens, which is not exactly the way you want to kick off the month of November, but alas, this is going to warm up. We are going to see some warmer temperatures as we get into the weekend, maybe not necessarily 70s, but back into the 60s, which is still above average for this time of year. Just a reminder, we are on social media, so go there. Hang out with us on the Your Day Dayton Facebook page. There I've just posted your weather forecast, and we have some goodies from the show. As for traffic this morning, if you are traveling right for now, things have been a little bit, hectic earlier on this morning, especially around the Stanley Ave exit. Since that has been cleaned up, we haven't had any other tie-ups or concerns. The only thing of note, we do have that construction as you move north from Montgomery into Miami County, and of course, all the ongoing construction around Stanley, Wagner Ford, and that corridor.
The months-long actors' strike could be coming to an end soon. SAG-AFTRA and major studios say they've made significant progress in negotiations. Sources say both sides reached tentative understandings on key components of a potential deal. Both sides could reach a deal as early as this or next week. Actors have been on strike for more than 100 days, pushing back film and television schedules.
This morning, we're getting a new look at the latest in the Israel-Hamas war. Overnight, the Israeli Defense Forces conducted several airstrikes in Gaza. Here's some of the footage the IDF just released. The Israeli military says it's making progress in its fight against Hamas. The IDF posted this picture on X saying fighter jets killed this man, Ibrahim Biari. The post calls him one of the leaders responsible for the October 7th attack on Israel.
We now want to take a live look over the White House this morning. The Biden administration pushing back on calls for a ceasefire.
I don't think you can count on Hamas. I think when people call for a ceasefire, they're calling for Israel to stop firing. I don't think there's anyone that actually expects that Hamas would agree to a ceasefire, a terrorist organization.
Right now, you're taking a look at protesters on Capitol Hill. Several protesters disrupted a hearing with Secretary of State Antony Blinken. They call for the U.S. to help broker a ceasefire between the two sides. Top officials say they support humanitarian pauses to let hostages come out and humanitarian aid to come in.
So far in Gaza, Hamas has released a total of 4 hostages. Israel now says there are still 240 hostages. Hamas claims it'll free some foreign nationals in the coming days.
Didi again spoke with Israeli man determined to find his sister, who's believed to have been kidnapped by Hamas. Didi?
Like countless Israeli and Palestinian families, Gili Roman is overwhelmingly worried, but hanging on to hope.
We also completely determined to do whatever we can, whatever is in our power to try to promote her release.
Gili Roman's sister Yarden was with her in-laws at Kibbutz Be'eri when Israel was attacked by Hamas. Roman is focused on bringing awareness to his family's situation.
The mother, Kinneret, unfortunately was murdered outside of the house. Hamas published the video of her death and we learned about it from through social media. And afterwards, Alon, Geffen, and Yarden were taken together into a car that took them towards Gaza. All three of them jumped together outside of the car.
While being shot at, Roman says his sister gave her daughter to her husband so he could quickly run. Both managed to find safety. As for his sister,
Eventually, after extensive searches, we got to the conclusion that she was taken again and now being held hostage in Gaza. But we don't have any accurate information from Gaza.
as Israelis and Palestinians are killed after Israel retaliates with airstrikes in Gaza, Roman says it's a mixture of worry and hope, each day focused on what he can do to bring Yarden home.
I don't think that I could live with myself if I haven't done everything in my power in the last few weeks. Just imagine that if it has any impact and she will return, how wonderful would that be?
A Pentagon official said American commandos in Israel are helping locate more than 200 hostages seized during Hamas's attack. Reporting for the National Desk, I'm Dee Dee Gatton.
The man accused of gouging out one of a security guard's eyes is facing new charges. The Montgomery County prosecutor says this man, James Fickling, walked into the Premier Health building in downtown Dayton last month. Investigators say he then stripped off most of his clothes and pulled a fire alarm. According to prosecutors, that's when he attacked a 66-year-old security guard who tried to stop him.
Imagine the horror of working as a security guard on a quiet Saturday afternoon and then waking up in the hospital completely blind. Imagine the shock of a firefighter being dispatched to a building on a fire alarm only to be confronted by a violent offender who attacks first responders.
Prosecutors say Fickling also attacked a firefighter and police officer who confronted him. The security guard is still in the hospital this morning. Officials say the attack permanently blinded her.
A night to never forget. Addison Haynes, a sophomore at Springboro High School, recently had the opportunity to perform with Tony Award winner Kristen Chenoweth. Here's a video Addison's mom posted on Facebook. The pair sang "For Good," a song from the Tony Award winning musical Wicked. Addison is one of only 100 students picked from across the world for Kristen Chenoweth's Broadway boot camp. This week, Addison will appear on stage as Sandra in her high school's fall play, The Play That Goes Wrong. The performance helped raise money for Cincinnati Children's Hospital.
Today, Dayton Convention Center is celebrating its 50th anniversary with a preview of the multi-million-dollar renovations in progress now. Guests can view memorabilia, sample dishes prepared by the center's executive chef, and hear from project leaders as they make their way through the building. The event starts at 4. Mayor Mims will speak at 4:30. More than 200 business and government leaders will be there.
Today in Springboro, you can sell your leftover and unwanted Halloween candy for a good cause. This year's annual candy buyback will be at Wright Smiles Pediatric Dentistry tonight from 3 to 7. You can get $1 per pound of candy donated. The office partners with Blue Star Mothers of America to get the candy to our troops overseas.
Our time right now is 5:38. Don't forget to get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
A Clayton officer shot last week, now recovering at home. Today in Hometown Hero, Adam Arrow shows us the incredible strength shown by Officer Cody Cecil.
We got our first case of snow in Dayton last night. This video showing snow up north. We'll take a closer look just ahead.
You're watching All right, check this out. This is video out of Cleveland. You see ODOT crews out and about plowing the highways. That is a lot of snow. Yeah, Nick, we had a slight dusting north of town. I woke up with some on my windshield of my car, but nothing like that. And that's why I'm glad we live in Dayton, not Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see. Maybe I think that's probably lake effect as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's the time of year where you start. I literally started doing it maybe a week ago, which is on the weather products on the website I use. I have to flip between is it going to be rain or snow, because there are some time periods where it could be a little bit of both. I mean, it's just getting colder and colder. It's winter, which is basically like saying, you know, it's tortured, Alex.
Well, plus it's kind of crazy because time changes this weekend. Fall back.
You get an extra hour's sleep. That's the good one, Alex.
But then it gets darker earlier.
Yeah, but you know, then it's lighter earlier too.
Yeah, but we don't get to experience that here on the morning show.
No, we are just doom and gloom and darkness and sadness. Oh no, wait, that's just me.
No, we're joy. Just you, Nick. All right, what do we got in store for the rest of the week?
Doom and gloom. Actually, it's going to be fairly okay. So this low is continuing to move out of the area. True old-fashioned clipper system, very quick in, very quick out, but what it did do is brought our temperatures down again, and again we did see that snow overnight and during the evening hours yesterday. As for today, temperatures low to mid 40s. We will see a few clouds from time to time. I do think tomorrow will be sort of similar in regards to the cloud cover, you know, different time periods, perhaps more of an upper level cloud deck, but you get the gist. Is it's basically going to be partly cloudy. And then for Thursday night to Friday, should be another cool night, although it will be a little bit on the warmer side when you consider the fact that the daytimes are going to instead be basically all the way into the mid 50s, upper 50s on Friday. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there because I'm looking at the weekend and going, all right, well, you know what? We got that going for us. Low 60s both Saturday and Sunday. Then Monday into Tuesday, some chances of showers.
Our time right now, 5:44. Still to come, Walmart announcing changes coming to stores. Just ahead, the $9 billion project geared toward bringing in more customers.
You're watching Your Day. A great deal of risk comes with the job of being a police officer. We saw that last week when a Clayton officer was shot while serving a warrant.
But that officer continues to recover and show strength. And as Anna Merrill shows us, he is a hometown hero.
In a Facebook post Monday, Clayton police sharing Officer Cody Cecil is out of the hospital and taking another step in his journey to recovery. An army of support from fellow officers at his own department and others flank him as he leaves Miami Valley Hospital. It comes after this. Last Thursday, Clayton police say the veteran officer was shot in the arm while serving a warrant. Cecil was rushed to the Miami Valley Hospital where he underwent successful surgery. Now, nearly a week after the unimaginable, he's on his feet and ready for that next step in recovery. A hero in blue, being supported by a family in blue. A true hometown hero.
Someone that's a hometown hero, let us know. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
You can chime in your submission through our app. We just need a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or videos.
All right, time to do some weather here. We're, one of those mornings where we are looking at somewhat of a quiet start to your morning, although it isn't exactly the biggest or the coldest morning. I do think it's still pretty chilly outside. Temperature-wise, we are looking at low 30s. I do think that we will eventually get into the 40s, but with the winds outside, I think it's going to feel probably on the order of 5 to 10, maybe even 15 degrees colder than the actual air temperature at any given point. I have seen earlier on this morning the wind chills down in the teens. Right now they're low, mid 20s, even some upper 20s, but this is definitely a cold start to your morning and actually probably colder feeling than yesterday. We're still aiming for about the same. Yesterday we hit 45. I could see us doing it again, perhaps even hitting 46 or 47. The upper air will be getting a little bit warmer. I'm just not quite sure if that's going to translate to the surface. Sometimes it takes a while for that warmer air to drop down. I have seen that before, actually, where the upper air is significantly warmer 24 hours, and it took 48 hours for it to actually get down to the surface. Now, meanwhile, tonight it's still going to be quite cold. I think that we still have that perfect atmosphere for radiational cooling, meaning dry conditions, clear skies, and not a ton of wind, but enough. Tomorrow the winds will start to actually pick up out of the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Rest of the forecast will be in the 60s up until Monday, and then temperatures do fall Tuesday as the next system pulls through. If you are traveling this morning, here is what we're looking at. It is a fairly quiet morning commute as of right now. Did have an earlier incident at Stanley that has since been cleaned up, and everything else is moving okay.
As inflation continues to impact shopping habits, Walmart is revamping some of its stores to hopefully bring in more customers. On Monday, the company unveiled updates at more than 100 stores. The changes include pharmacies near the front of the store with private screening rooms. They also showcase home goods such as bedding products and touch and feel end cap displays to get shoppers to interact with the products. This part of a $9 billion investment to update more than 1,400 stores in 2 years.
It's time. November 1st marks the end of the Halloween season, and for some, the beginning of the holidays. And Mariah Carey taking to Twitter for her annual celebration of Mariah season. Yeah, that's right. Every year, her hit song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, yeah, tops the charts during November, December. I hope I just sprung you into the Christmas spirit just now. In the video, you can see Carey being defrosted by Halloween characters. And she's alive, folks. She's alive.
She's so dramatic.
Very.
Our time,
Who's
right?
more dramatic, me or Mariah? Now, that's a good question.
That's close. I don't know. It's hard. Our time right now is 5:51. A group of window washers making a difference just had their mission to brighten the days of children at a hospital in Pennsylvania with the help of some super costumes.
You're watching Your Day.
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio, a chilly Watson's Weather Patio. You may notice I have gloves on. This is not one of those mornings that I'm enjoying being out here. Obviously, it does get colder in winter, so we're going to have plenty more. We're pointing out that we did actually get a couple periods of snow moving through, and there we actually saw it. That may have been the one that produced enough snow over Nathan's house to give him that little bit of a dusting. But in general, the snow has since moved out. So effectively this morning, it's all about the wind and the cold air behind it. I'll tell you this much. It may be a couple degrees warmer, but it feels just as cold, if not colder, than yesterday. So you are going to need gloves. You are going to need a heavy jacket for this morning. The good news is tomorrow, despite the same start, it's going to get warmer, and eventually the mornings will warm up as well. So we're going to have a warmer atmosphere for the weekend, and more importantly, it's going to be dry for all of us who want to get outside and attempt to enjoy it.
A group of window washers making a difference yesterday. They got dressed up in superhero costumes and headed to a children's hospital in Pennsylvania.
These superheroes aren't fighting crime this Halloween. They're fighting grime on the windows of UPMC Children's Hospital.
I think it's awesome. I have a daughter that's in there. She just got over the RS virus. And I think it's wonderful. She just got done seeing Batman.
Spider-Man, Captain America, Batman, and Superman rappel down the side of the building to cheer up patients in the rooms.
As a father, and I say other people can agree, is like when you see a child happy, it's a wonderful thing. You know, you don't want to see no kid unhappy or having a bad day. Even if it's for a couple minutes out of the day today, we put a smile on their face. We love it, and we hope they do too.
For nearly 10 years, workers from Allegheny Window Cleaning have been putting on the comic book costumes before cleaning the windows. Superman said it's all about making the day better for everyone in the hospital.
It's wonderful for the kids. They come running to the windows and want to high five us and thumbs up, and the parents love it, the staff loves it. It's a great day.
She's like, Mom, I seen Batman. She's excited.
The superhero window washers swing by Children's twice a year. They'll be back in the spring.
It absolutely brightens our day. You know, we love it.
And not all heroes wear capes. They walk the hospital's halls every day.
That's a great story. LEGO has unveiled its largest modular set by piece count. The new brick building is a replica of the Natural History Museum. It comes with dual atriums and a removable roof and middle floor. This is sweet. Inside, exhibits include a giant Brachiosaurus, skeleton dinosaur eggs, and geodes. Now there's also a large map of the planet showing the projected orbit of a new rocket. In total, the set has 4,000 pieces. It's currently available for pre-order. It officially goes on sale December 1st.
Drivers in Atlanta got a big scare on their commute last night. A person dressed in a ghost face killer costume from the movie Scream was seen on the interstate. You can see the person on top of a black car holding a sign with a knife. The rare sight brought traffic to a major slowdown for miles. Atlanta police eventually moved the person who had been on the downtown connector for nearly an hour. No word of any arrest. That's silly.
And stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
especially with Atlanta traffic.
Yeah, well,
all those lanes.
Some people just want that attention, though. I mean, what are you going to do?
I like how they did blur his Instagram or Snapchat or whatever he was trying to promote.
Yeah.
Like, take that. You get nothing.
We're not giving you the clout.
I wonder if he goes around to different places and
he must.
stands on his car.
All right, our time right now, 5:57. We got a lot more coming up on your day at 6 a.m.
Taking a live look over the Miami Valley, we're now less than a week away from Election Day. Just ahead, Lydia Bice breaks down some school levies you may see on the ballot.
You're watching Your Day. Good morning and welcome. I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King.
Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. The Monster Jam is back at the Nutter Center this weekend, Saturday at 1. You can see the adrenaline-charged event. You can also head out to the pit parties and see the massive trucks up close and in person. And of course, Gravedigger is always the star of the show.
Is that? Oh, that's what that is.
Gravedigger!
Gravedigger.
This weekend.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Alex. Live a little bit. You know what? Maybe we should send you out there into one of those cars and see how it goes.
Ooh, I would do that.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Adrenaline junkie.
Friday is November's first Friday in Dayton. You can head downtown for food and happy hour specials at local bars and restaurants, art galleries, live music, and so much more.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, this is the kind of time of year where there's not a ton going on. We're in like a few-week pause, you know, before Christmas starts.
Yes.
So,
It'll be fun.
this should be a good
As long
old
as
time.
you find little areas you can go inside and stay warm.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Stay busy.
Yeah.
The Grinch stopping by Young's Jersey Dairy Farm and all over Dayton for some spooky activities. Take a look at this.
Oh.
All right, he's ready for How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which is coming to the Schuster Center November 14th through the 19th. This is, oh, it actually stopped by Foy's too. Oh, down at the Greene. So he made his way all around
You just
town.
were all over the place.
Hello, how you doing?
Oh, that's fun. I mean, I guess can count as a Halloween costume, so.
I bet that show's hilarious, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure.
People are gonna love it.
I'm sure.
Good stuff.
Fun. Election day is just days away, and your local school district might have a levy on the ballot.
Lydia Baez spoke with several local districts about how these issues affect our students. Lydia.
I spoke with officials from Northmont, Centerville, and Oakwood to break down their district's levies for voters. All 3 of these districts have operating levies on the ballot, which pay for things like utilities, salaries for teachers and staff, and instructional supplies. Oakwood and Centerville have combined levies, though, which means both an operating levy and permanent improvement levy.
They'll be used for our facilities, remodeling, and looking at how to upgrade some of our facilities as we move forward.
The COVID-19 pandemic is still a prevalent topic in school districts across our area as well, and Linda Bloom, president of the Northmont City Schools Board of Education, told me that the COVID-19 shutdown affected a lot of students in their emotional or mental health, which is why it's so important for schools to have funding for resources that could help them.
The dollars that we're looking to get from this levy will help maintain all of those things that are already in place and to do a little bit of an enhancement as needs arise.
Now, along with the pandemic, inflation has also made an impact. So if you still feel like you need some more information on these levies or any other issues on next week's ballot, be sure to head to the election tab on Dayton247now.com. There you'll be able to find this story and others like it. Back to you.
On your date right now, dates and times. Can vote early at your local Board of Elections office. Your mailed absentee ballot must be postmarked by November 6th. Election day is next Tuesday, November 7th.
We're less than a week away from Election Day. Next Tuesday, voters will decide issue 2, but if they choose to legalize marijuana, there will still be restrictions.
Your employer may have a no drug policy they keep implemented. Melinda Brown spoke with a law expert on what you need to know.
Whether you're for or against the issue, you probably have questions about what this means if issue 2 passes. Your employer most likely.
All right, we'll get back out to Melena once the technical issues are resolved. And of course, for the latest election news, head over to our website, Dayton247now.com, and click on our special election section.
It is time for some weather where temperatures this morning are right around the freezing mark. Despite the fact that it is warmer, it feels colder. We are right now feeling like we're in the mid-20s yesterday. Basically what you saw is what you got. Today, again, it's a warmer start, but with the winds, and it's not a ton of winds. We're not talking about double digit, nearing 20. We're talking 5 to 10, maybe upwards of 15 at the absolute most. That's just enough to cool us off. So if you're putting kids on the bus, main takeaway is Yes, you may see those 30s. You may go, maybe I don't need the heavier jacket. No, in fact, you may need a heavier jacket than you did yesterday. Just a reminder, we are on social media, so go there and check us out. I have posted your weather forecast. We'll have the poll questions, some other goodies from the show. So yeah, we'll have a good old time. Meanwhile, if you're on the roads this morning, hopefully you have a good old time in your morning commute, whether it's listening to your favorite podcast, Your Day Extra, or maybe your favorite music channel. Either way, so far it's been a quiet morning commute as of right now.
All right, we are going to try this again and send things out to Milena. We are less than a week away from Election Day. Next Tuesday, voters will decide issue 2, but if they choose to legalize marijuana, there will still be restrictions.
Now, Milena spoke with a local expert about this. Milena?
So whether you're for or against the issue, you probably have questions about what this means if it passes. And if your employer has a no drug policy in place, it turns out that won't have to change. Under state and federal law, employers can have rules preventing their employees from using recreational drugs, whether it's legal in that state or not. Experts tell me this could have been a move to get the issue to pass, and the ballot language is very clear.
Does not prohibit an employer from refusing to hire, discharging, or disciplining an employee for using drugs, and also does not prohibit an employer from having a drug testing policy, drug-free workplace policy, or zero-tolerance drug policy.
Brian Scroll with Cedarville University tells me there are jobs like medical workers and drivers where it's essential to be sober, so having a drug-free policy can be critical. I also asked if issue 2 has any protections on what you can do outside of work, on your personal time. We're going to answer that question coming up next. Back to you.
This 15-year-old girl missing out of Willard could be here in the Dayton area. Anna Stover was last seen leaving her home Saturday. Here's a closer look. Take a look at your screen. She's about 5'4" and 145 pounds. She has black hair and blue eyes. She was wearing a black t-shirt, blue jeans, and tennis shoes. If you have any information about her whereabouts, you're asked to call the Willard Police Department at the number on your screen right now. That's 419-933-2561.
Now the latest from the conflict in the Middle East, taking a live look at our nation's capital. House Republicans gearing up for tomorrow's vote on a $14 billion aid package to Israel. Now, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the House bill is, quote, not a serious proposal. He claims this would be abandoning the rest of America's global responsibilities and making it easier for the ultra-rich to cheat on their taxes. Meanwhile, Republican Senator Mitch McConnell says any bill should provide funding not just for Israel, but also Ukraine, Taiwan, and the U.S. southern border.
A former Milton Union school custodian accused of rape is now trying to remove house arrest from his bond conditions. Defense team for 59-year-old Jerry North says North is his 83-year-old mother's caregiver and her health is deteriorating. His lawyers also say he's recently been diagnosed with situational depression, anxiety, and sleep disorders. He's accused of raping a child at the Milton Union Elementary School multiple times between 2019 and 2021. The beginning of North's trial has not yet been set. He previously pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Taking a live look at the Miami Valley Jail's website right now, this man, 26-year-old Jamar Hayes, scheduled to be sentenced this morning for murder. Prosecutors yesterday recommended the court give Hayes the maximum sentence. He shot and killed a woman on US 35 last Mother's Day. A court found him guilty on multiple charges.
The man charged for assaulting a 3-year-old boy at Rosa Parks Elementary School is now requesting a competency hearing. 56-year-old Derek Sorrells, a former paraprofessional at the school, is accused of knocking the boy to the ground by his head, then picking him up by the ankles. He faces charges of assault and endangering children. He'll be back in court December 19th to review the results of his evaluation.
Dick's Sporting Goods is helping East Palestine City schools dodge athletic cuts with a surprising grant. Now, the sports retailer awarded the school district $75,000. The district's athletic director says the athletic budget was cut by more than 50% following the Norfolk Southern train derailment in February. The school lost $70,000. $40,000 to $50,000 of the new grant will be invested in student athletes to keep them on the field.
And another major milestone in East Palestine. The last loads of contaminated soil have been taken out. Officials say they'll now move to phase 2 of the cleanup, which includes monitoring the air to make sure it's safe to breathe. Sia New York Corps has more.
It's been almost 9 months since East Palestine changed forever.
Honestly, it's been a bit of a roller coaster.
As the city and the people are still recovering, the first round of cleanup nearly completed. More than 170,000 tons of contaminated soil removed from the derailment site.
We're finishing up the bulk removal of bulk contaminants out here. All the excavation is complete. What you see here in the background is we're hauling off the last of the contaminated soils from the site.
To date, Norfolk Southern says it has poured more than $96 million into the community since that fateful February night.
I can't tell you how to assuage somebody's fears. I've been out here since February 4th. I've been out here on site. I've been in the creeks. I've been in the water. I've been out here on the site, walking up and down the site in the holes with all these workers out here. The science is what it is. You trust the science. The science says that we're getting it, and we've gotten it all.
Bob Scoville, Norfolk Southern's manager of environmental operations for the area, says now they move into phase 2. That means retesting the soil to make sure there are any toxins, continuing to monitor the air so it's safe to breathe. But some in the community are skeptical.
We're here for the long haul. We're not going anywhere. We care about the town. We're committed to making it right. We're committed to doing the right thing for the town, for the community. So we're not going anywhere. We're going to be here.
Our time right now is 6:11. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
You're watching Your Day.
Good morning, or should I say a cold morning. Here's what we're looking at. Lake effect snow right across Lake Michigan, and then you move further to the east. It has been pouring snow in parts of northeast Ohio, northwest parts of Pennsylvania, as well as the far northwestern part of New York. So one of those mornings where there has been snow in the greater Great Lakes region, but we got a few flakes and even a light little dusting in parts of the area overnight. For tomorrow, it is going to be just as cold as it is this morning. Difference is today, we're going to top out in the low to mid 40s. Tomorrow, again, cold start, but we should be able to get into the 50s. So it is going to be warmer. I think there could be some of us, especially to the north, that stay in the 40s. We're pointing out that Friday is our next warm up, though. So we are going to see some warmer temperatures on Friday, especially during the second half of the day. Meanwhile, if you're on the roads this morning, so far it's been, well, a quieter morning commute after that earlier incident at Stanley. Haven't had any types or concerns since that point. Everything is moving as expected.
Our time right now is 6:15. You're watching Your Day.
Good morning. Here's the view right now over the greater Dayton area. So far, we have seen some clouds. We really haven't seen a lot of snowfall in our area since overnight. And really, it's the first part of overnight. So 10, 11, 12 in that ballpark. Meanwhile, temperatures are significantly cooler. We are in the low 30s compared to where the average is. It's not necessarily that far off, but what makes it feel cooler is the winds. The winds are making it feel more like the low 20s, and we have actually at one point gotten down into the teens in terms of wind chill, but with temperatures seemingly bouncing back up just a few degrees, we're maybe not quite going to get that cold again, or at least that cold feeling, I should know. As for today, temperatures mid 40s, so ballpark where we were yesterday. Tonight, 28 degrees. Tonight, another cold start to your morning. So this is, again, one of those mornings where you're going to be bundling up. Difference is we should tack on about a half dozen degrees to tomorrow's highs. Tomorrow begins a string of warmer days. By Saturday, we should cross over 60 degrees. And then from there, it's in the mid 60s, maybe even upper 60s. I've seen some of the models kick around for early next week. But then we're going to fall off the face of the earth and go back into the mid 40s as those showers exit out of the area. If you are traveling this morning, I haven't seen any types or concerns over the last half hour. Of course, we had the big one around Stanley that did shut down the interstate up until about 5 a.m. Since that point, again, everything has been moving a lot more smoothly.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines, a new Penn Station East Coast Subs location is coming to Greenville. It's set to open up next March at Wagner Avenue. The space is 2,400 square feet. Construction will cost about $500,000. The chain is known for its Philly cheesesteak, fresh cut fries, and other made-to-order sandwiches. This comes as the company is in the middle of a massive expansion. To read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com, click on the News tab, and select Dayton Business Journal.
Part of Blue Ridge Parkway is now temporarily closed near Asheville, North Carolina, due to a young bear getting a bit too friendly with humans. The National Park Service says they closed the 8-mile-long section after reports of visitors feeding and trying to hold a young bear. That's so stupid. The service's superintendent says intentionally attracting bears with trash and food is dangerous. She added the service wants to give the bear a chance to lose interest in the area. Fall is an important time for bears as they forage for food to bulk up for winter hibernation.
Our time right now at 6:21. Digital producer Max waiting in the wings. We take a look at your daily poll just ahead.
You're watching Your Day.
Time for Pet of the Day here on Your Day, where we celebrate pets. Of course, we're continuing with our Halloween week theme. Going back to last week, we've been showcasing the best of dogs, cats, and spooky pets that have fit the bill. And today we've got a fairy. Kira was sent in by Carol. Big thank you to Carol. And we still may continue with it later on this week. So if you have any pictures of your pets from Halloween, go ahead and send them in. Cold Halloween at that. Today, not too much better. In fact, I dare think today with the winds kicking up that it could feel colder. Yesterday, if you were out during the evening, it got really, really chilly, especially as that sun began to set. Those kids coming outside, I felt bad for some of the parents. But today, you know, if you're out and about walking the pet, maybe walking, cleaning up after some of the kids may have dropped a wrapper here or there, it's still going to be quite chilly. The good news is, though, we are going to see some warmer temperatures tomorrow after a colder start. On the roads this morning, if you're traveling, of course, it is so far so quiet as of the last 90 minutes as well. So we've got that going for us, at least at this point. You know, if you're traveling to a destination, you won't have to listen to the radio for that long or listen to whatever you may be wanting to.
Well, as we learned a little earlier this morning, Mariah Carey has been thawed out, and she is back. And she is ready. She's ready for Christmas time. You know, Max, that leads us right into our poll question this morning.
That's right, Nathan. It's time. It's November 1st. People are beginning to listen to Christmas music. Is it too early, or should they really hold off a bit longer?
Bro, I heard it in stores a week ago. Okay, people aren't holding off. But, you know, the way I look at it is it's probably a little too early for my taste right now. But I will say, I don't knock anybody who likes to listen to it early. Yeah. But I'm probably about the week before Thanksgiving is when I start listening to it.
Interesting.
Al, why'd you just judge me just now?
No, I actually like that the stores play it, because then it's like if you feel strongly about not playing it, then you can still get a little fix in when you go to the stores.
They're trying to get you to buy stuff.
I know. And it makes me want to.
Exactly.
So
it's
they know
working.
what they're doing. I said, yes, it is too early. I'm team waiting for after Thanksgiving. I love
you know where this
Thanksgiving.
opinion's
I
going.
love Thanksgiving so much, and I don't want to skip over Thanksgiving.
The correct opinion. So here's the deal. I have a few rules in my household. Number one, dog sleeps where I sleep and eats what I eat. Number two, we root against Dallas and root for the Lions on Thanksgiving. And no Christmas music and no Christmas anything until after Thanksgiving dessert. That's the rules in my house. Max?
You know, personally, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, but also I'm happy to listen to it. If once people start putting up decorations, you get in the car, you drive around at night with some Christmas music on and just look at all the house with the lights on it. Yeah. It's one of my favorite times of year.
I love Team Joy, and I think we need to get a small little tree for Nick's desk starting tomorrow.
Yes, I love that idea. You know what? I think I have one at home. I
Good.
Can bring in.
Let's do it. Look, he looks tortured already. Oh, God, if you deviate from the norms from 1950s, God help us. All right.
Our time right now is 6:27, still to come.
You may be wondering if your job's drug policy will change if Issue 2 passes. I'm going to answer that question after the break.
I'm Didi Catton in Washington, and coming up, hanging on to hope. I spoke to an Israeli man whose sister is believed to have been taken hostage in Gaza.
The SAG-AFTRA strike may soon be coming to an end, just ahead the progress made by both sides in negotiations.
But first, here's Julie Moran with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Naki.
You know, I am always looking for new products to help keep me and my family safe, and I spend a lot of time in my car. I know you do too. So I am so excited to introduce you to the Minolta Dash Cam. Now, this gives you evidence if you're in an accident, and that is evidence at your fingertips. It records exactly what happened, and this is going to save you a lot of money on insurance claims. And it's extra peace of mind. It's really an investment for protecting your family, and I love that. Now, Minolta, as we know, is just such a trusted brand, and you can record inside and outside of your vehicle. Also, the camera, high resolution, 120-degree lens, clearer footage than any other dash cams on the market. and it automatically, I love this, automatically records collisions when you're parked. How great is that? And as I say, it includes the windshield mount, the memory card, also this power adapter, everything you need to get started right here, all in one piece. So right now we're offering 47% off the Minolta dash cam, and I want you to head to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer. This is just something, protection for you and your family that you are going to love.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. Check this out from Waffle House. Yeah, a couple decided to get their wedding photos outside of a Waffle House near Nashville. And I'm not sure if this would really be my bag, personally.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they met at the Waffle House, I guess, if they want to market. I mean, Keith and I met at Dick's Sporting Goods. I don't want to get pictures ever taken outside of Dick's Sporting Goods, so
I mean,
I don't understand that one.
That'd be romantic. Maybe you can renew your vows one day in front of the Dick's Sporting Goods.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
That would be quite unfortunate.
All right, and Creed is making a stop in Cincinnati. It's part of the rock band's 40-city Summer of '99 reunion tour. They'll perform at the Riverbend Music Center on August 2nd with the 3 Doors Down and Finger 11. General ticket sales start Friday.
With arms wide open. Oh.
Are you excited? Should you go to
Scott
this?
Stapp. I saw Creed when I was in college.
Well, then maybe you need to go see it again.
Let me just put it this way. Our college radio station was giving away free tickets. They couldn't give them away, so they gave me 20 tickets to take home my friends. And so we all went and saw Creed just for fun.
That's cool. That's actually really cool.
It was interesting. but this could be fun.
And with Three Doors Down, I don't
Let's
know
go.
any of their music, but I know that it's
Will you still call me Superman? I'll play a song for you
yeah.
on the break.
Sure.
Paramount Plus just released their latest trailer for Good Burger 2. The film follows Keenan and Kel 26 years after the original film as they try to save a burger joint. It premieres on Paramount Plus November 22nd. Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order?
You seem like you'd like this.
Did you remember that movie?
I don't think I ever watched. I do remember it, but I don't know if I've ever actually watched it.
Classic. Just saying.
Maybe background noise.
Nick?
Yeah, that is a classic. And Nathan, I will join you on the frontier of actually having seen Creed in concert. Probably worst concert I've ever seen, but you know, maybe they've gotten better over the years. It may have been just the venue. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it was interesting to say the least. Here's what's going on in Dayton. A little bit of clouds in the area this morning, and we could still see some clouds up until maybe, let's say, mid to late morning for some of us. Also, that's the point where temperatures should be able to break out of the low 30s. Worth pointing out that today technically may be a few degrees warmer, but it feels cooler due to the ongoing winds. Yesterday was dead calm. Today the winds are going to pick up significantly, especially during the afternoon and evening. Just a reminder, your day is on social media. There we have your weather forecast, poll questions, fun stuff from the show yesterday, and yeah, just a good old fun time. Meanwhile, if you're on the roads this morning, so far it's been fairly quiet over the last 2 hours or so, so that's certainly some good news after a earlier crash actually shut down 75 up until 5 a.m.
We are less than a week away from Election Day. Next Tuesday, voters will decide issue 2, but if they choose to legalize marijuana, there will still be restrictions.
Your employer may have a no-drug policy they keep implemented. Melina Brown spoke with a law expert on what you need to know.
You probably signed a no drug policy or took a drug test to have your job. And if you think that changes if issue 2 passes, you don't want to run to the dispensary just yet. The ballot language clearly states an employer doesn't have to accommodate an employee's use, possession, or distribution of recreational marijuana. I spoke with a law expert on the topic. He tells me there aren't protections for, quote, lawful off-duty conduct. So even if you decide to use marijuana on your own personal time, it could still violate your workplace policy.
For an employer, they need to have a clear-cut policy. So I think this is a good time to go through a policy as from an employer's perspective to make sure it says what they want it to say, it's clear, and they enforce it.
Brian Skrull with Cedarville University says you should check in with your boss if there isn't a clear policy in place. Now, there are many other questions surrounding issue 2, so I took an investigative look into recreational marijuana and what it could do economically for Ohio. We're going to have that story tonight on Fox 45 at 10 p.m. Back to you.
The months-long actors' strike could be coming to an end soon. SAG-AFTRA and major studios say they've made significant progress on negotiations. Sources say both sides reached tentative understandings on key components of a potential deal. Both sides could reach a deal as early as this or next week. Actors have been on strike for more than 100 days, pushing back film and television schedules.
This morning, we're getting a new look at the latest in the Israel-Hamas war. Overnight, the Israeli Defense Forces conducted several airstrikes in Gaza. Here's some of the footage the IDF just released. The Israeli military says it's making progress in its fight against Hamas. The IDF posted this picture on X saying fighter jets killed this man, Ibrahim Biari. The post calls him one of the leaders responsible for the October 7th attack on Israel.
So far in Gaza, Hamas has released a total of 4 hostages. Israel now says there are still 240 hostages. Hamas claims it'll free some foreign nationals in the coming days. Didi again spoke with an Israeli man determined to find his sister, who's believed to have been kidnapped by Hamas. Didi.
Like countless Israeli and Palestinian families, Gili Roman is overwhelmingly worried, but hanging on to hope.
We also completely determined to do whatever we can, whatever is in our power to try to promote her release.
Gilly Roman's sister Yarden was with her in-laws at Kibbutz Be'eri when Israel was attacked by Hamas. Roman is focused on bringing awareness to his family's situation.
The mother, Kinneret, unfortunately was murdered outside of the house. Hamas published the video of her death, and we learned about it from through social media. And afterwards, Alon, Geffen, and Yarden were taken together into a car that took them towards Gaza. All three of them jumped together outside of the car.
While being shot at, Roman says his sister gave her daughter to her husband so he could quickly run. Both managed to find safety. As for his sister,
eventually, after extensive searches, we got to the conclusion that she was taken again and now being held hostage in Gaza. But we don't have any accurate information from Gaza.
As Israelis and Palestinians are killed after Israel retaliates with airstrikes in Gaza, Roman says it's a mixture of worry and hope each day, focused on what he can do to bring Yarden home.
I don't think that I could live with myself if I haven't done everything in my power in the last few weeks. Just imagine that if it has any impact and she will return, how wonderful would that be?
A Pentagon official said American commandos in Israel are helping locate more than 200 hostages seized during Hamas's attack. Reporting for the National Desk, I'm Dee Dee Gatton.
Our time right now is 6:40. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
You're watching Your Day.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Good morning and welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio. Just reminded we still have the Halloween decorations up. No, we're not the heathens who have to take it down the second that Halloween is over. But, you know, I wouldn't be shocked if we start picking up maybe some corn stalks here. Not actually sure what else you could put up for Thanksgiving. I guess cornucopia, though. You need a table for that. As for this morning, you're going to need a jacket if you're heading outside. Boy, is it chilly out here. Just being out here the maybe 45-minute, whatever I've been out here, it does feel cool. Now, these are the feels like temperatures. So these are when you factor in winds. Feels like it's in the low to mid 20s. Frankly, it is one of those mornings where there is that chill in the air. And because there is that chill, you want to make sure that you are bundled up appropriately and also make sure that you have the right things in your car. A blanket, an extra jacket, just in case. Last thing we really want to be is on the side of the road and in shorts and a t-shirt. Again, today going to end up in the 40s.
Our time right now is 6:44. Where does a snowman get his weather report? The Winternet. You're taking a look at the snow out of Cleveland. We'll take a closer look just ahead.
You're watching Your Day. All right, taking a live look at video of snow out of Cleveland this morning. Yeah, those are ODOT crews working to clear the roads up there. And last night, I was laying in bed and I saw green and orange lights flashing by my window. And I looked outside and there were snow plows pre-treating the roads. And this morning, I woke up with some snow on my windshield. Yeah. I was like,
is that
wow.
a technical term for like this season? Oh, okay, that's a technical term.
I mean, it snuck up on us. A little winter weather already, and it's just November 1st, man.
You know, I said it the other day, maybe mid week. Okay, it's conceivable we get some snowflakes, but the fact is that we got a little bit on the car. I'm like, all right, you know, fair enough. It's just never fun when it happens, is it? Here's what we're looking at for this morning. Worth pointing out that we are fairly quiet ever since pretty much, I would say, midnight or thereabouts. There is still some heavy snow falling, mainly lake effect. That's one of the reasons why Cleveland got pummeled is you got that cold air coming in over a warmish lake, and that's perfect conditions for that area of snow. And again, that's what we call a fetch of moisture. Meanwhile, for us, we are, again, cloudy, but not necessarily that awful. Later on today, we will have some sunshine. With sunshine, should be able to get mid-40s. Conceivable, some of us actually get upper 40s because despite the fact that we did get those clouds second half of yesterday, we did hit 45. I basically put today at a repeat of yesterday, maybe just a few degrees warmer if we're going to see any difference. Tonight, it'll be ballpark about where we've been the last two mornings. Yesterday morning was upper 20s. I think 26 was the official overnight low in Dayton. Tonight, we're looking at 28 degrees. So for tomorrow morning, it's going to be just about as cold. And even if we do see temperatures up a few degrees, that's probably just due to the fact that the winds will be higher, and that evens out when you factor in the wind chill. Tomorrow, 51 degrees, 57 Friday, Saturday and Sunday back into the 60s, and we will see 60s into next week. We're pointing out that next week, we also have that chance of rain coming in, so it does look like it could be a little bit more active. As for this morning's commute, interstate's looking okay. Do have one incident though, North Main Street at Shoup Mill Road and Turner Road. So that's part of your morning commute. Give yourself some extra time.
Our time right now is 6:51. You're watching Your Day. Election Day is just days away, and your local school district might have a levy on the ballot.
Lydia Bice spoke with several local districts about how these issues affect our students. Lydia.
I spoke with officials from Northmont, Centerville, and Oakwood to break down their district's levies for voters. All three of these districts have operating levies on the ballot, which pay for things like utilities, salaries for teachers and staff, and instructional supplies. Oakwood and Centerville have combined levies, though, which means both an operating levy and permanent improvement levy.
They'll be used for our facilities, remodeling, and looking at how to upgrade some of our facilities as we move forward.
The COVID-19 pandemic is still a prevalent topic in school districts across our area as well, and Linda Bloom, president of the Northmont City Schools Board of Education, told me that the COVID-19 shutdown affected a lot of students in their emotional or mental health, which is why it's so important for schools to have funding for resources that could help them.
The dollars that we're looking to get from this levy will help maintain all of those things that are already in place and to do a little bit of an enhancement as needs arise.
Now, along with the pandemic, inflation has also made an impact. So if you still feel like you need some more information on these levies or any other issues on next week's ballot, be sure to head to the election tab on Dayton247now.com. There you'll be able to find this story and others like it. Back to you.
On your screen right now, dates and times you can vote early at your local Board of Elections office. Your mailed absentee ballot must be postmarked by November 6th. And election day is next Tuesday, November 7th.
One of the major issues on the ballot is recreational marijuana, but even if voters pass issue 2 and legalize it, there will still be restrictions.
Your employer may have a no drug policy they keep implemented. Melina Brown spoke with a law expert on what you need to know. Melina.
Whether you're for or against issue 2, you probably have questions for what it means for you if it passes. If your employer already has a no drug policy, it turns out that doesn't have to change. Under state and federal law, employers can have rules preventing their employees from using recreational drugs, whether it's legal in your state or not. Experts tell me this could have been a move to get the issue to pass, and the ballot language is very clear.
Not prohibit an employer from refusing to hire, discharging, or disciplining an employee for using drugs, and also does not prohibit an employer from having a drug testing policy, drug-free workplace policy, or zero-tolerance drug policy.
Brian Scroll with Cedarville University tells me there are jobs like medical workers and drivers where it's essential to be sober, so having drug-free policies are critical. I asked if issue 2 passes, does that change what you can do in your free time, your personal time away from work? I'm going to answer that question coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
And of course, we have all your election coverage you need on our website, Dayton247now.com, in our election section.
This 15-year-old girl missing out of Willard could be here in the Dayton area. Anna Stover was last seen leaving her home yesterday. Let's take a closer look. She's about 5'4" and 145 pounds. She has black hair and blue eyes. She was wearing a black t-shirt, blue jeans, and tennis shoes. If you have any information about her whereabouts, you're asked to call the Willard Police Department at the number on your screen. That's 419-933-2561.
And taking a live look at the Miami Valley Jail's website, this man, 26-year-old Jamar Hayes, is scheduled to be sentenced this morning for murder. Prosecutors yesterday recommended the court give Hayes the maximum sentence. He shot and killed a woman on US 35 last Mother's